Okay, we're recording. Hi, babes. Welcome back to Making Kin. I'm here today with a very special guest. If you wanna,
You
I
want
don't
me to
know.
introduce myself?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. Do you want me to? What do you? Should I say stuff? With an educated graduate,
I am barely an educated graduate.
but you are
I'm slightly educated. I did graduate. Technically, I'm an educated graduate. Educated in philosophy? A little bit,
perhaps.
perhaps.
Kasia has a what degree do you have? You have a BS.
I have a BS in environmental science with a concentration in geobiology. That's a combination of geology and biology. Not a lot of geology, though.
Oh
I
my
always
God.
say my geology education is fossils and then GIS.
I mean, yeah.
So it's technically not geology. But yeah, that works. I mean, I'll
Unless you
say
bring-
it. That's technically what I have.
I was
Anyway.
actually. Okay, it's now been 46 minutes and we haven't said the
Yes.
word ecofeminism once.
Yes.
I'm gonna hit my bong. Let me do this for 1 sec.
I'm like almost out of my drink.
What was it in your drink?
Gin and ginger ale.
Now that's a drink.
I got 2 of the limited edition Hendrix gins.
They're good?
Yeah. One's floral and it smells like flowers. It smells like different kinds of roses. The other one is stone fruits and it is fruity. It is fruity.
That's cool.
And
That's
I got
really
2 of them for $40, which is like buy one get one 50% off for a Hendrix gin. Are you joking?
That's good. No, I'm glad.
I'm set for gin for at least 2 months. Maybe.
I had a similar excursion. I went to Chronic Link the other day, and I picked myself up. Actually, I didn't. Ty engaged me and then gave me his debit card and said, "You're my fiance now, go do what you want." And I said, "Chronic Link, a pound of weed." They sell pounds. They sell it by the pound. I filled up like 12 mason jars and I still have shit in the bag that I can't figure out what to do with.
Shut
So
the
I've just been
fuck
smoking.
up. Shut the fuck up.
It's crazy.
You are living the life.
It's so fun.
You're living the life.
And the cats like me now. Life is good. Okay.
Get
After
into
an
it.
hour and 9 minutes, we can talk about ecofeminism.
Okay.
Okay, wait, fuck. And we still
ASMR.
It actually sounds really good. Not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm sorry
No,
because
you're
I
good.
keep talking about things.
You're okay.
I don't know how much YouTube you watch. There's a YouTube commercial of this fucking ASMR bitch, and I hate it. You can get Uber One student. You can get Uber One student for free if you will. I hate it. I hate that
sounds
ad so
horrible.
fucking much. She's like clicking her nails. She's like, you can get us plenty of deals. And she's like super close to the camera. She's like, it's just her face. I hate it. I hate it.
That's what's so cool. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I watch no YouTube ads because Ty has YouTube Premium, so I made him put it on the TV, so now I watch it.
Okay. Maybe you should just go on YouTube and search the Uber One for student ad ASMR
I'm
bitch.
going to now because I need to know what the fuck.
It's like a 20-second. It's like a 15-second ad, but it's awful.
Oh yeah,
I hate it.
I feel like enough people hate ASMR that like you shouldn't subject a population to that unwillingly. Like
Especially that kind of ASMR. The most
Yeah.
people who watch ASMR, I think a large percentage of them are like, it's all niche categories of ASMR. And so maybe as a whole, there's a big, maybe a lot of people do like ASMR, but each category is so niche.
No, I see
So,
what you're
like,
saying.
To subject everybody to that specific kind of ASMR is insane to me.
Especially
sign
with her
up for that.
face. Like just her face being there, I think would kill them.
It's her face in like a green screen background of like a blue and purple ombre, and I'm like, this sucks.
This is
You know what?
this is what we've
sucks.
come to. Like
Yeah.
if back in my day, an ad used to be like it used to have to convince you.
Dude, the ads back in my day. The ads back in my day used to be full productions.
Real. Remember when Taylor Swift fell off that fucking treadmill? I remember
No.
that every day. It was like a
No.
headphones commercial, and she went right off the treadmill.
That's so funny. I will be searching that on YouTube later.
I think about it a lot.
Taylor
not
Swift
gonna lie.
falls off treadmill.
It's really funny.
That's so funny.
It's in a commercial. See, now they would never be doing that nowadays. Remember when celebrities used to be in commercials?
There was, yeah, okay. Well, there are still celebrities in commercials. In fact, I think that's
Yeah,
most
Sydney
commercials
Sweeney.
nowadays, except for like Progressive and State Farm. But there's one commercial where people. Anyway. There are a few commercials where there are productions, and there was one really good commercial that was so good. It was basically like a short film, and I was like, oh my god, whoever did this, like, this is great. I don't know what they're trying to sell me, but this is great. And then the brand came in, and I think it maybe was like Apple or Google or something like that. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
See, now that would piss me off.
Yeah, because I haven't used my brain in 6 months.
That's okay. So ecofeminism, we're going to start by just vaguely defining ecofeminism, because I don't want to actually define it, because like you use it in so many different ways, and like there's so many different definitions. But the TLDR of it, if Gabe is watching, is
Gabe is watching.
I hope you know I literally see TLDR all semester now, because I miss him saying it so much, and every time I say it, I picture his fro and I like start tearing up. Like I get so sad. Like I taught
miss
Julia
him
what I
so
meant because I just missed him.
I miss him so much.
You could see him. You have him.
Actually, you're right. I do. The issue is, Gabe and I have never hung out one-on-one before.
It seems really intimidating to hang out with him one-on-one. There's a reason that we're like not the rest of us.
Yeah. I do like send him reels on Instagram and stuff. He did send me one today. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was a Smosh one. It was about the Chosens. I
So
love
fun.
that man so much. Dude. If you should watch the Chosen stuff on Smosh, because that's hilarious.
Nothing you just said to me makes sense.
Okay, Smosh, the YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know who created the. I'm so sorry. We keep going on tangents.
It's okay. It's okay.
So I don't know if it was Shane or Spencer that came up with the Chosen character. Anyway, the Chosen character is this young 20-something-year-old who lives with his mom. Okay. And his whole thing is that, like, he wears these cargo shorts. Okay. He wears the wolf t-shirt with the moon, where the wolves are howling at the moon. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like that kind of,
Yeah.
like, okay. And then he wears these, like, sunglasses, and then he always has a katana on him. And then also, like, the other people on the Smosh channel, they'll do their own versions of the Smosh. So the whole thing, or the Chosen. So the whole thing with the Chosen is that, like, everybody has a Chosen within them, okay? And that's where you get the different iterations of the Chosen, okay? But the Chosen is like, I've been training for this my whole life. Like, my destiny is to save the world, and I don't know how to explain it without just telling you to watch a Chosen video.
I can watch one.
If there is a Chosen video to watch, I would say the Chosen try not to laugh. What's the game? They play a board game where they ask each other questions. I'll send you like TikToks and stuff. I'll send you like the funny hits and stuff. I can do that. Okay. But if you did want to watch a full YouTube of them playing a game, it's Shane as the Chosen, and then it's Spencer as the Chosen. The one joke that's like really funny about it is like Shane's asking a question, something about the NBA, and then Spencer goes, "The NBA, I heard it's like the WNBA, but men." And so like that's a bad telling of the joke.
No, that's funny.
But like
that's a funny joke.
it's like I respect women and like getting you with this, but it's hilarious. Okay, just trust me, it's hilarious.
Believe you. I'm trying really hard to understand.
Wait.
I'll watch a video of it.
Spencer, UNBA Chosen. I haven't opened you in a week.
Was the first professional institutions are being real the 5th of November. That's Britain, but it's still same principle.
Hold on.
No, it was the NBA. Oh. I'm being told it's like the WNBA, but all dudes.
That's funny.
Oh. Okay, you didn't find it as funny as I was hoping, but anyway,
I do find it
they're
funny,
really
though.
funny. They're really funny.
They sound funny.
Okay,
I
I'm sorry
believe
for
that
going on this tangent.
No,
I just
I
completely
believe you.
wasted your time.
They're funny. No, I believe that they're funny. I
that
also
video-
find them funny.
Okay.
I found it funny. I promise.
Okay, there are a ton of Chosen videos because that is their most famous character, and
Okay.
everybody on the cast does a version of the Chosen. And so one of the things with the Chosen is that they don't like he doesn't masturbate and he doesn't have sex. He's a virgin. He doesn't know it. And then like one of the jokes that Shane makes is like, well, I don't know if I can be a virgin for considering all the things I see. And then one of the producers who's like doing in one of these videos, she's like, technically, yes, you're still a virgin. And he goes, but Chance does a version of the Chosen where he faps. So his version of the Chosen is he is the Chosen who faps. But like,
What is to fap?
okay, fapping is like masturbating.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so like the Chosen doesn't masturbate because there's a whole there's a subreddit of no fap, all no fap, where men will go on and they'll say, I haven't masturbated in 2 years and I have ascended. I have become my better self. Like I've reached all these goals. I'm smarter. I'm more like, yes. There's a lot to learn about the Chosens. I'm sorry for telling you.
No, it's okay. I feel like I just learned a part of the world existed that I never once conceived existed.
So passionate about it.
This is staying in.
This is the opening scene.
We can watch it
So
together.
the Chosen who faps.
We can watch Smosh together. I will learn.
I would actually be so.
And
I'm gonna give them all little kisses on the forehead and big old hugs. They're so good.
Daisy and I watch them too, and I just never have.
I think their biggest community. I mean, the people that are like Smosh fans will watch like every show, every channel that they have, but they've really blown up the last year, I would say, because Shane does a Reddit story. He has a Reddit story podcast, and so that's why like a lot of outside people have like become fans of Smosh, I think. That's how I got into Smosh, was because I started listening to Reddit stories and I was like, oh my god, I love these people. I love listening to them. And then I got on their YouTube and I was like, they have so much other content. They're so funny. They're so funny. I actually do think you would like them, but I know that you watch very specific YouTube and TV shows, so I would understand if you didn't like get into them, but I do think they are hilarious. They have a lot of great content.
No, I feel I feel like I would enjoy them. It would give me a break from my usual. Literally, all I watch is Tana Mojo, Trisha Paytas, and Jeff Wittick when Tana Mojo and Trisha Paytas are on Jeff's FM. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
there's
And I knew that.
nothing else.
Then I knew that. Rick and Morty, American Dad. And that's about it.
No, there's a new one. Ty got me to start watching Jeopardy, so now we watch Jeopardy.
Thing of all things. And of course it was Ty who was watching Jeopardy.
He brought it up. He was like, we could watch Jeopardy. And I was like, okay. Like, I was more stunned than I was. Like I was like agreeing out of
Huh?
confusion. I was like,
Okay.
sure.
And then you went, shit, I kind of like this.
Oh yeah, I like fuck with the Jeopardy. Oh, he also bought Hulu new ads. I was getting more pissed off with ads than I am, and it's really like I'm reaping the benefits.
Wow. Hulu
So now I
no
have
ads.
Hulu new ads.
That must be incredible, because I hate Hulu for the fact that I have to watch 50 ads an episode.
It
If
took
you
an
watch enough
episode of
hours in
Jeopardy.
one period of time, they will lessen the ads, though.
Will it really?
If you watch Hulu for like a few hours straight, you'll start off with like ad after ad after ad after ad after ad. And then by the end, you'll get like 2 to 3 ads.
That's
But
not
you
bad.
have to watch like, you have to be like binging. You have to be like binging.
It does. You know, we were getting
Yeah.
fed up with it. It was like 44 minutes to watch an episode of Jeopardy, and now it's like 20. No, yeah. It's literally like half ads. It's insane.
I believe that because each ad break is like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
I hate
like,
capitalism. Holy shit.
and this is what I don't get. You already pay for Hulu. Like, that's really what blows my mind, is like, to watch Hulu,
Whole
you're
point of
already
streaming
paying
services.
Hulu.
That was the whole point of streaming services, was that you could binge a whole season and not watch a single ad.
Yeah,
And now
like,
look
that's
what
why
we've
people
done.
don't like TV, because commercial.
Yes.
Like,
And now
that's
I
it.
pay for the same thing?
Yeah.
have to buy every single streaming services because the one show that I like to watch was on this streaming services for this amount of time, and now it's on this one, and then it'll go to this one, and then I have to wait 3 years, and then it'll return back to this one.
Yeah.
My parents are gonna hear me screaming downstairs.
I feel like what
I
hell
just-
has her so amped up, and it's literally Hulu.
Dude, when I have headphones on and a mic, I get loud. The world does not exist to me. Like,
I've been thinking about this earlier. I was actually thinking about this before you like joined on the Riverside when I was getting it set up and sending the link. I was like, they really should make podcasting equipment more expensive.
and I bought
They
this
should
mic
make
for
these
$9.
Hundreds. They should make
Like,
this app more expensive. They should make editing more expensive. I shouldn't be allowed. I should have to pay to post to Spotify.
and
Like,
that's why
what
so
is
many
this?
men have podcasts who shouldn't. It's hard
You're
to
right.
It's semi-difficult to learn at first, but once you learn it, it's incredibly easy.
No, yeah, and then I
And that's
just get
somebody
to
who
have
has tried
opinions.
to learn it. Like,
I just get to have a hey babes. In case it wasn't clear from the past 2 hours and 7 minutes that we've discussed anything else, today we're going to talk about ecofeminism. And just so that I'm not info dumping to a blank screen of viewers that don't want to hear it, we have the gorgeous, lovely Cassia here with us today.
hi guys, my name's Cassia. I will not give you my last name because I don't feel comfortable with the internet like that yet. But if you know me, you know me. And if you don't, my name's Cassia, spelled Kasia. It's very important. I have a background in environmental science. I recently just graduated with a BS in environmental science. Concentration in geobiology, mostly biology and like some GIS. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I have a personal passion with philosophy, specifically ecofeminism.
No,
So that's why I'm here.
Going into this, we should give a small disclaimer that we are, in fact, ecofeminists as people.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
maybe we are a little bit biased with this theory. Perhaps just a tad. We do really enjoy it.
Who's not biased about any theory?
See, now that's a great point to standpoint objectivity and the fact that we can never be objective.
Period. We can't. Everybody
right.
always has an opinion, no matter what it is.
Right?
What is
That was good.
objectivity? Anyway.
We're actually going to talk about that today. Ecofeminism was first used in 1974 in Francois de Bond's book Le Feminisme ou la Mort, which means feminism or death. So yeah,
For the audio listeners, I'm raising my fist in the air for the power. You know what I'm talking about.
yes,
Actually, I think that's specifically a reference to Black Power.
I do think
right.
so, but intersectionality.
Yes, I do think. I think it was probably originally, a visual. There's a word I'm looking for that I don't know or can't think of
Symbol?
right now. A symbol? Yes. A symbol for. I think originally it was a symbol for Black Power, but I think throughout the years it's become just a symbol for power in general. I don't want to say like minority topics, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Non-fascist.
Essentially, yeah.
Which actually we can go the fascist route if we went towards that tier. Not gonna lie. I've set us up pretty good to go for a little fascism talk.
We love it.
Back to the beginning. In 1974, Francois de Bond, talking about ecofeminism, was pointing out culturally constructed parallels between the way that society treats women and the way that society treats nature. There's more to that, but we'll come back to that. Right now, we're just going to talk about women and nature for a second. Then, skipping a ton of shit, Shiva, a great ecofeminist, there's more. A ton of ecofeminists are getting hold of this theory, and they're talking about it, and they're talking about intersectionality, and they're talking about the way that we oppress people. It ends up with a culmination in an article titled Feminism Toward Global Justice and Planetary Health. This was written in 1993 by Greta Gaard and Lori. Why did I write it like that? Gruen? Close. Greta Gaard and Lori Gruen, I want to say. And they're building on what's already been published about ecofeminism and what people are talking about it. In between 1974 and 1993 also is like Land Ethic being published. William Cronin's talking about The Trouble with Wilderness, Leo Leopold.
Good context.
Although Leopold is coming out, like environmentalism is coming. Leto Autopod. Okay, we've been talking for 2 hours and I'm so like I started this like mildly sober because I wanted to be able to like say the words, and then we just kept keeking
It's
and
also,
I
like-
kept smoking.
It's also 9:30 on Saturday. Like, for context, some of you might not think that's that late, but as somebody who goes to bed at 8 p.m.,
Oh, we're entering Delulu hours.
yes. Anyway, context for
Yes.
the conversation.
Yes. So like things are happening. Environmentalism is like getting hotter, right? Like we can like be environmentalists now by the point that Greta and Gloria are talking about this. And they decide it's okay, that was funny. And they decided that if we're gonna be able to talk about these ideas and these structures, we're gonna be able like we need to be able to talk about it, you know, like we need to have like some concrete shit down here. So they want to talk about an eco-feminist framework. And the idea, what the fuck does that say? I don't know what that was supposed to say. But they're talking about an eco-feminist framework. They want to be able to like actually talk about ecofeminism as a theory that is proven and laid out. For sure, we can't argue with it. We know what it constitutes and we know what it doesn't constitute. So they come up with like 4 points here that have obviously been built on from like the ecofeminism that we know, but this is like the basic 4 things that they kind of got with. The first is that patriarchal religions, they are part of the problem. The rise of
big one.
patriarchal religions, they did
That's a
some of
big
this.
one.
They were part of it. The second one, the scientific revolution has
Ooh.
led us to a phase where we can look at things as objects. There's things and there's not things. Like there's the instrument. Through the scientific revolution, we were allowed to instrumentalize things that we weren't before. So that got us here. That's bad too.
Yes.
These are like the
Yes.
4 bad things that happened that now we need ecofeminism.
Yeah.
The third one, traditional cultural dualisms. We're going to elaborate further later about what a real dualism is, but when they're talking about this, they're talking about anything ingrained in our culture that we just kind of accept because it's happened before. And when they're talking about dualisms, they're talking about the patriarchy and all the stuff that we're already talking about, but we're going to get back to like what a real dualism is after, because that doesn't come
What is
until
a
after.
not-
That's not until Val comes. Yeah.
Val's coming. What is we can talk about this later. What is because I know that you said we'll talk about it later. Question for you later. What is a not real dualism?
Well, like, okay, I don't mean like not real. I mean like non-hierarchical polarizing.
Okay.
Like a distinction
Okay.
rather than a dualism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like it's not all differences are bad, but dualisms in the way that they're using dualisms that they haven't really laid out that well are bad.
Now, have you talked about dualisms on the pod yet? Do you want to save that for an education episode?
No, we're gonna talk.
Or do you want to
about
get into
that.
it? Okay.
Just
okay.
not yet, because that's not like
Okay.
what they're talking
Yep,
about
yeah.
in it. Okay, and the fourth one is the concept of having wealth and the concept of me as a person having money,
Ooh.
which has
See, I
obviously
don't-
led us to capitalism. But they're arguing
Yes.
that the concept of having money is more inherently bad than the capitalism.
I think they
I'm very
probably
anti-money.
I think they probably go more hand.
I should
because
point out
then you have to-
I was really high when I read this paper, and I'm paraphrasing heavy. If you want real information, please do your own research. Okay, continue.
Or
That was for the
you could
viewers.
link in the description.
I will. Yeah, no, I'll cite all
Hit
my
a
sources.
link in the description. Wait, I had a thought. Oh,
Yes.
I was gonna say, well, you also, when you bring that up, you also have to then define wealth. And so that's when capitalism comes into play and says, well, in capitalism, wealth is solely defined on a monetary value, right?
And like assets and wait, yeah.
Yes. But that is essentially a
Like at the end of the
monetary
day,
value.
it's just money.
Yeah.
Everything is just the dollar amount that it has.
Now I want to say, I don't think we've talked about this before.
Capitalism?
No, me and you on wealth playing into ecofeminism. I don't think we've talked
have.
about this before.
No, I don't think we have. And And I also, generational wealth has been a hot topic at Pit Brad this year. Anti-generational wealth has been real hot. And like, essentially, like I said, like they're saying like capitalism wealth is bad for ecofeminism. It's disproportionately placing stress on women and also other minorities. But the fact that you can make money is already going to put you ahead in so many other ways that it's going to keep the perpetuation of the dualisms to, actually, is that word get? It's going to keep the perpetuation of the like inequality to keep going. Yeah.
Especially when you think about the fact that women like couldn't work until the 19 what? And that we couldn't own our own bank accounts without the permission of our spouse, our husband, or like our father until like the 70s, I think it was. I think it was sometime in the 70s. I think that's pretty accurate.
I think it is too.
Right.
I'm looking right now. Why is none of this giving me a date?
So when you think about, go ahead.
Starting in 1776 with America's first female
Yeah.
soldier.
Yeah.
76. They're saying that women fought in the revolution and that was our job. What is happening? Okay,
Wait.
none of this is giving me an answer. Yes, the 1970s is when women could start owning bank accounts.
Okay. So when you think about the fact that making money like by itself will perpetuate the, can I use dichotomy here?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
Is
Or
that all right? Is that the right
patriarchy.
word? Yeah. But it's not only I want to say dualism. I
Yeah.
want to say dualism.
Okay, let's just keep going and then we'll come back to all this stuff. Let's just get all of this
Okay.
out of the way and then we'll talk
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
I just
'Cause
don't.
it would make the conversation easier.
Yeah, I just don't know like what's gonna be. I'm trying to make it like easy to take it in. Minding the gap. I'm trying to mind the gap and make philosophy open because it's not public open access philosophy if we're talking in ways that people don't understand. Then
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
just upper level philosophy that they can listen to.
Yes.
Okay, so from these 4 points, we've got 2 pretty distinct dualisms from the dualism list that you know. Western cultures and nature, and men over women, and then wealthy and poor.
Yes.
But
Yes.
we'll touch on that more. Okay, but here's the part that we need to focus on, and here's the part that was kind of lacking in what they were doing in the Phil Club. So ecofeminism is solely based off the fact that it's intersectional. And that it has to do with every single part of any marginalized group in any kind of dominating structure. So when Dubon first used this word in 1974, she was calling for the removal of all forms of domination, including over nature, which is why she added eco in front of it, because feminism to her at that point in France was an intersectional feminism of Black people should have power, women should have power, Indigenous people should have, any marginalized group should have power. She was the one adding the nature into the fact that nature is part of a marginalized group. So at its heart, ecofeminism is arguing against domination, exploitation, colonization, anything else that fall under those. It's not just about women.
Yes. Yes.
We make
Because
that
when it's
so clear.
Well, when it's called ecofeminism, though, like the word itself is like an intersectionality, right? And so you
I would
can't
say.
really, yeah. But let's be clear here: ecofeminism is not just to reinstate. Ecofeminism is not just about the power over nature and the power over women. It does include everything else:
Yes.
race, sexuality, whatever.
Which is also how we get to the first cavern. I don't have the caverns and stuff in this because I didn't think that it was like that necessary for this. But I did want to mention.
We should do an episode on that, though.
Well, we can.
Just the cavern of reversal. Period.
Well, that's what I'm going to mention is like this is why the cavern of reversal exists, because all domination's bad. Women.
Yes.
The cavern of reversal is a pitfall of ecofeminism where we try and fix ecofeminism by putting the person being dominated on top of the dominator. So that's as like, women would rule men.
Yeah. So that's when people would say, oh, if women were in power, like this wouldn't be happening, like the blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, if you've studied ecofeminism, you would know that that's not true. Like that's almost just as harmful, because then there would still be a dominating power. And like if we lived in a matriarchy, like, it would still be the same thing, except the men would, in a sense, like, be us. And they would be experiencing this same thing, but in a different way, I would say.
No, yeah, I think inherently I can understand why people think that women would be better natural leaders. And that is in itself just like a better natural leader is going to be anyone who grows up to be a good natural leader.
Yeah.
Like, that's
And
what ecofeminism's trying to argue here.
And this is coming from somebody who used to believe that, wasn't educated in this philosophy.
You know, I fear every day I still have to tell myself that that is in fact a bad thing to think, and that it is
Yeah.
not true,
Yeah.
and that we should all be equal.
But we're also saying this and thinking this because we have experienced the downfall, right? And so we've experienced that opposite side of the dualism, which we will get into. But if it was the reverse, if the cavern was reversed, then we would also be them and we would be saying the same thing, you know?
Mhm. No, yeah. Yeah.
I hope the listeners understand what I'm trying to say, because I'm not very good with my words all the time.
No,
Well, most of the time.
I feel you. I think, okay, if you guys have questions on that one, let us know down in the comments, but I do think we hit her pretty hard.
I would happily come back for another episode
A cavern. Just the cavern.
for simply just the cavern.
The max. Okay, but now we're gonna make this a lot easier for everyone. Let's talk about what a hierarchical polarizing dualism is. So, in Val Plumwood, insert applause here, third book of Ecofeminism and the Mastery of Nature. This is how Cassie and I both learned. No, I read Karen Warren first, but this is the root of what the ecofeminism that Cassie and I know is. This is
Yes.
what drew us in. We
This
love
is-
Val.
Yeah, and this is essentially how I learned about ecofeminism.
No, yeah. Loki would recommend this over the Karen Warren article. I would read this first. So her third book, Ecofeminism and the Mastery of Nature, Al Plumwood lays out hierarchical polarizing dualisms. She says that these dualisms have to be 5 things. The first is I should explain this differently. So for something to be a dualism, there has to be a subject attached to it and an object attached to it. Just like in grammar, like a subject is an I, a me, a we. It's something that has value and dignity and can do things. And an object is what the subject acts upon. It's what the subject does with the object. Object, subject. For audio
Yes.
listeners, I pointed at a book for the object and me as the subject. So these dualisms have to do 5 things to be these hierarchical polarizing dualisms that are bad, that we don't want, and that are causing these issues. The first is it has to background the object. So I'm going to give examples for pretty much everything as my way of describing it, because I feel like that's the easiest way to do it. But backgrounding is when we think about scientists in the past that had wives that did their laundry and cleaned their house and cooked them food and wrote when they couldn't and took their dog out for a shit. Like, that did all those things. And then we forget that the woman exists and we look at the scientists' crazy inventions. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to have those crazy inventions if the woman wasn't helping. And it's not saying that she's responsible for those. It's saying that she took part in it and that you can't exclude her from the equation. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah. I'm sorry, I was kind of zoning out because I was trying to remind myself to add Val Plumwood's book to my wish list for our book Secret Santa for our family. So I did kind of zone out there.
There's
for
a free
second,
PDF online. There's a free PDF online.
Okay. I love that. I do love that. Access to all. But also, I would like the paper copy.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I also would like the paper copy, I figured.
Maybe I'll buy you it.
But there is a paper or PDF online for any of the viewers that are interested.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah. No, our second one, hyper separation. So the subject and object have to be hyper separated from each other. They have to be so hierarchical polarizingly different, right? So me and a
Wait, I'm sorry,
man,
can I pause?
yeah,
I feel like this is kind of a question I have for myself, but I also was not paying attention very, very much. And I feel like this might be a question for that the viewers might have. Would you say backgrounding is demonstrated when if a husband has a wife, or if a boyfriend has a girlfriend, and the husband or boyfriend comes home and the counters are wiped down, the laundry is done and folded, it's put away, and the female partner of the relationship has done this, but the man doesn't take notice. Would you say that that's backgrounding?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I think, well, this is like a very hyper personalized example of like a response to that. But if Ty were to like, when Ty does this, he like cleans the house and I'll come home and the bathroom's clean, or I'll come home and like something's clean. I immediately notice that it's clean because I care about our
Yes.
house and I take note of it and I know when things are different than I left it. I don't
Yeah.
know if he does. And I think that it's just like when I do it, I don't think he does. And I think that it's just like a natural, like ingrained in our culture to dismiss that type of work and like just
Yeah.
not see it as work at all and not
Yeah.
comprehend why you're
Well,
tired
yeah,
after
that's
you clean the house and like stuff like that.
I think that's the other thing too, is that I think in this sorry, excuse me.
No sexy.
In this in this I don't want to say like day and age or society or whatever. Wait, where was I going with this? Oh, it's when people see like they view like a stay-at-home mom or motherhood or housework as not actual work based on the sole fact that they're not getting paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is backgrounding.
Yeah.
But those things are work. They do take work. If you have ever like, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't have a kid or has experience of taking care of a child that they just birthed out of their pussy, that like taking care of a child, like cleaning your house every day, like cooking, doing all that stuff is work. That's hard work.
No, facts. I genuinely want anyone to think about like the time that they've like made dinner for themselves every single night for
Yeah.
months on end. Now imagine you're doing like everything else of your day, taking care of a kid, and the dinner's not even fucking for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And also multiple children most of the time. And then you also have to do not only your children's laundry, but your laundry, your husband's laundry. You also have to clean all of the bathrooms. You have to vacuum. You have to clean all this. Like,
It's a job.
yes, it's a job. Well, would I argue it's slavery? In some cases, yes. But also in the same sense that you're doing a lot of work and you're not getting paid for it in a monetary sense.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like the 50s and early 90s housewives where they would do all of this and then their husbands would come home and beat them. Like,
You're really no wonder they were
And then-
on pills.
and then yes, and then they also had eating disorders, and then they also had to look perfect and act perfect and be in the perfect shape, like physical shape all the time.
And I think that we, like, as a society, really dismissed that wasn't, like, long ago. Like, most
Dude.
people today remember this. Most
I-
people, grandparents were this.
Yes.
Like, they were doing this.
My grandma had told me a couple years ago she had 3 children. She had 3 boys. She had told me whenever she was pregnant, like pregnant or not, whenever she was pregnant, she wouldn't let herself, I would say let herself, she wouldn't reach a weight past, I think it was either 114 pounds or 124 pounds. And then I recently, yeah.
Been
And then I
114 pounds since 6th grade.
I don't remember if it was 114 or 124. Either way,
I haven't been
very
either
similar.
since 6th grade.
Very similar.
Same.
But yes. Wow. And then recently I had a conversation, I think it was over Thanksgiving. Someone in my family had mentioned, like, we were talking about, like, AG1s and Ozempic, and I think, like, around that sort of conversation, like, and around the conversation of, like, obesity. Actually, I wasn't even talking about it. I was just listening in the other room because I wasn't participating. But somebody had said, like, when I was growing up, you wouldn't see obese people. And in my head, I was thinking, well, yeah, that's also because everybody had eating disorders. Like, yeah, if we build a society and we teach people that starving yourself isn't good, that even if you think you look good, you're not healthy, and it actually is healthy to like eat food and like take care of your body, like you actually do need that in order to survive. Like, yeah, the general society isn't gonna be so skinny anymore. Like, and that shouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah. I feel like it also just has to do with the fact that, like, I don't know how to, like, word this properly, but I feel like there's so much more and less community now.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, that is
Like,
a fact. That is a fact.
but there's the internet is, like, so good, and, like, our generation talks to each other, and, like, these, like, issues are being talked about, but there's so much less in the way that, like, IRL, I don't know anyone except for Ty within 60 miles of me.
Yes.
And I actively try and make friends with people.
Yes. Well, there's the conversation of, yes, the internet has brought a lot of great communities for those, for example, who are queer and living in rural areas where they're surrounded with a lot of conservative and often Christian people where they don't feel safe. And yes, that is great. But also, there's also a conversation to be had where, and this has mostly been talked about like in my personal life because I'm single and I'm trying to date, but it's a lot harder for younger people to date nowadays because there are no third spaces. And also, we are like the generations of being so comfortable and growing up with technology that's our comfort space. And so we're not having those forced interactions where we're not having to like interact with people we don't like. And then there's also COVID. COVID is a big factor in that because for a year straight we weren't interacting with people. And so a lot of people talk about that with like retail workers. Why the Gen Z stare? Why is Gen Z so awful at service work? And it's like, well, you have to take into consideration that as we were entering early adulthood, we didn't have those interactions. We weren't taught. I mean, we were interacting in the early high school, whatever. But like specifically, a lot of retail workers when they were entering that, like early, like during COVID and after COVID, like there are a lot of people that have said, well, was never taught how to interact with customers. Like customer service isn't being taught anymore, you know?
No, I agree.
Okay,
I
I'm sorry
also
for that tangent.
No, you're good. I feel like it also has to do with the fact that, like, when all the I don't like, we were exposed to so much less. Okay, let me give you my basis for thinking of this. The thing that, like, keeps popping up in my memory is we had this author talk at school, and this freshman girl is there, right? I'm just gonna call her M because I don't know what her name is, but I think it starts with
Okay.
M.
Okay.
So she's sitting there, and the Bradford for Democracy people are there, and one of them's like this really old one. That was rude as hell. One of them is like a 40-year-old woman.
Okay, Kaylee. Yeah, now that was rude.
Well, she was a cunt. She looks at M, says something about how social media nowadays, blah 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 blah. Saw this thing, it made me upset. I don't know what to do about things like that, and I was wondering if
Okay.
you guys here have anything like to say that could help us like know what to do. This bitch turns around, looks at her, and goes, "Well, why didn't you just fucking do something?"
Literally
was like
asking you what to do.
Literally. So she like she's Julia's student too. So she looks at Julia and she's like, should I have not asked? Like, I'm sorry. And like, I was like, okay, bomb ass response. Like, actually eat. That's what I would have done too. Like, should I have not said
Yeah.
anything?
I'm sorry you wanted questions and that was my question.
Yeah. And I feel like And, like, things like that, it just, like, we got so much less exposure with the people that lived through times that were so different, and in our formative years, we had time to make choices that weren't as influenced by societal construct, you know what I mean? Like, I was
Yeah.
also talking to my mom the other day, and I said something about Ty and I getting engaged, and I felt really young to be engaged, and she had so quaintly reminded me very casually that she had given birth to me by the time that she was my age.
Okay.
That's
See?
crazy.
And this is a big conversation with me because you have to when we have the conversation about not necessarily early marriages in the sense of a relationship, but early marriages in the sense of your life, right? In the sense of your adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it used to be normal for people to have birth at 14 and be married at 18 and have 3 kids by 21. Yes, that used to be true. But we also have to consider that, and this is where feminism ties in, is that women were also dependent on men. We were, like, not so long ago, we were sold off by our fathers to another man.
Yeah. Like, end of story.
And then our fathers had to pay that man a certain amount of money or give him so many assets because we were a burden. That is essentially it. Like, and then birth control got into play, right? So then we started gaining birth control. And I am not talking out of my ass here. There are so many studies, so many facts where if you look at in Western terms, in Western civilization terms, a quote-unquote underdeveloped country, right, where there are a lot of, and I don't know if these are like politically correct terms, I am not very well educated on this, but I do know that this is true. If you look at a country that says, well, that like they are experiencing a high birth rate, there are a lot of children being birthed in these families, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're also usually poorer countries, right? If you give them birth control, give them access to birth control, the woman is no longer being oppressed. She has essentially gained in access to to the choice. She has gained access to the choice of control over her body. Right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
She's gained access to control over her body. Right?
Yeah, because she can decide now if she wants to bear kids or not. Like,
yes.
But
and so
I would argue there, though, that it doesn't account for what happens if she chooses not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
societally, what would happen if she chose that? Like, there's multiple factors in that choice than just what she wants to do.
Yeah.
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 Okay, keep going.
But there, I don't want to say repercussions, but the events following to, say, giving a country access to birth control
Mhm.
are that women want to work. They want to earn their own money. They don't want to be married. They don't want to be forced to have these children. They don't want to, and so we have to think about these events in these, oh, I can't find my words. Sorry,
Like, the
guys, I haven't had an
context?
educating. Yeah, like this is essentially the context of having this conversation of you with your mom, where it's like, yeah, it was normal to get married at 21 years old and have kids. Like, yeah, that was normal, but also we weren't allowed to have bank accounts until 1976.
Yeah.
We didn't have our money. We weren't in the position of power to make those choices for ourselves.
Yeah, and like, my mom pissed me off for a number of reasons, but this one really gets me because she didn't. Like, she got with my dad because that's what she had to do. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
and she convinced herself that she loves him and that he's great to her, and like, it's horrible.
Now, yeah, the divorce rate is larger because we don't have to rely on our husbands to allow us to simply live a life or a comfortably life. If you're so lucky.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
And no wonder the birth rate is down.
No, facts. Actually, so heavy on that one.
Okay, now I did see this from Twitter. I did not fact check, but I think it was that I think for, and I don't know if this was most universities, most institutes, whatever. It was like something like saying essentially that women have more degrees than men, and it was like, and somebody had like quote tweeted that and said like, well, the application rate for for like, so I think it was like the average application rate or something along those lines was like for women were 64%. And so essentially, men got into universities easier because they had a lower percentage rate. And so of the 46% of men that were applying, there are I think this was talking about D. Anyway.
That makes sense.
I think you get what I was saying. Was that
No,
like
yeah.
women have a harder time getting accepted and men have an easier time getting accepted if you're accepting a 1-to-1 ratio or something of the like, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. And it's true. Like, yeah. Yes.
And it is, well, you all like that also comes into play when you're thinking about blue collar jobs. Most blue collar jobs are a lot of physical labor and heavy lifting. And I'm not saying that women can't do heavy lifting, that they can't do physical labor jobs. But when you look at this, like when you look on the street and you see roofing companies or construction companies, freaking the departments of transportation, the people that are working on your roads, the people that are doing your concrete and building your houses, 95% of them are gonna be men.
Yeah. And it's like,
And yeah, that might be, no, go ahead.
no, you're good. You go.
I was gonna say, yeah, that might be the people that are applying for those jobs. Yeah, it might be that women simply aren't applying for those types of jobs. Also, if you think about it, there's also society that plays a role that tells you, well, you're not a woman if you're doing a physical labor job. That's for the men. And so, like, all of these things are coming into play. Like, there is so much nuance, so much context to these conversations. I could just keep fucking going. Like,
No, that's good. That plays really well into hyper separation. So, like, blue jobs
Thank God.
and pink jobs and men and
Yes.
women are the easiest.
I thought you said
for
blowjobs at first. Sorry, blue jobs and pink jobs.
blow jobs, the pink jobs. But I'm gonna keep using men and women because I feel like they are the easiest just in today's culture to see. And the patriarchy
Yes.
is such an overarching thing that, like, it is really easy to just understand it this way. But it does play into every dualism that we're talking about. All of these are required for everything that we're talking about as a separation that is bad,
I'm sorry.
subjectively speaking.
Quick note.
Yeah.
I know that we are both white women talking about these things, but let's also take into consideration race when it comes to today's age of blue collar and white collar jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's I think we all know what I'm saying with this, but that is also a part in play.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Anyway,
also,
I'm sorry.
well, also the compounding factors on this, like, yes, we're white women and we're gay and not Christian is one of them. But, like,
Yeah.
compounding factors are what happens when, like, obviously black women are more oppressed than white women because they're oppressed because
Yes.
they're black and they're oppressed
This
because
is
they're
this
women.
is a good topic for ecofeminism because
Like-
yeah, this needs
Like, there's compounding things going on. Not saying that all oppression is the same, not saying that it looks the same, it's saying that it's caused by the same rooted structures and that we're making them worse whenever we keep doing them.
So obviously a black woman is, or even a black trans woman, like black women, black trans women are obviously going to be oppressed more because not only are they women, not only are they black, but they are also gay. And so you also have oppression of women being black and being gay separate. Those are all separate things, but they also compound. Just for the listeners.
That was good. No, that was good. You put that really well. Okay.
Because
So-
I feel like sometimes people don't understand that.
No, yeah.
Or maybe they don't really get it very well.
I think that it's easy for us to kind of, like, just think about the things that we know and forget how we, like, know them. Like, at some point, we
Yeah.
also had to learn this information. We didn't know
Yes.
this. So I think
Yeah.
that it's really good, like, anything that we can point out that makes it easier to understand. I think that it's beneficial to add that no matter what. Okay, hyperseparation. This is what we kept doing whenever we started.
sorry.
What was I gonna say? Hyperseparation. Okay, so blue jobs and pink jobs.
Yes.
And things that men do and things that women do. And the fact that if you're a woman and you don't shave, now you're a man. Now you're manly. Or if you have a deep voice, now you're manly.
You're less of a woman.
Yes. Because you
Yes.
have to be so separated from each thing that you don't want to be even close. Like how it's offensive for men to be called womanly to them.
Yes.
That
Yes.
type of idea is
Also-
where we're getting at with
also
hyperseparation.
gay.
Yes.
Also gay. I would there was another thought. This, and I know we are talking about dualism, but let's remind the viewers and the listeners. These are the 4 points of dualism. 5 points of, is it dualism or are we talking about ecofeminism?
Dualisms. Yeah.
Dualisms, right. And so, just as a reminder, oh shit, my thoughts, they're gone. Wait. That said,
A blue job, pink job.
you had said it separates you from the other, right? And again, this is how the dualisms are formed and how they are kept, because you cannot, they are so farly separated into these 2 separate categories that are so far apart from each other. Let's just also, I just wanted to remind everyone that,
No, yeah.
you know,
No, I agree.
sorry, that was
This is also,
really bad.
no, that was good. When I'm kikiing with Cassie about ecofeminism and genuinely enter a flow state. I feel like this is also a good point to point in. Okay, I've been really on this kick recently, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it.
I probably will.
So I think that hyperseparation is one of the best places to point this out, that it's really, ecofeminism is so rooted in Western thought that it relies so heavily on either or thinking that if we literally just for a second go, okay, both, and
Yes!
it fixes everything.
Yes!
Like non-binary fixes
Yes!
everything.
Oh my god! Yes. Yes. I don't think I have any thoughts to add right now other than yes.
Yeah. Like it has to be or. You
This
have
is
to be
not
a
a
man
thought that I
or a
had
woman.
hide.
Being and fixes it.
Wow.
I've been really on this kick recently. I've been really into the either
Oh my
or
gosh.
thinking. Well, the lack
Into
of
what
either or
thinking?
thinking. Either or.
Okay.
Yeah, but like not either
Okay.
or thinking. I should
Yeah,
also point out, when I talk about philosophy, a lot of times my words get mixed up and I start saying things like, yeah, I love polarization. That's not what I mean. When I say
You
I
love
love either
talking
or
about-
thinking, that's not what I mean.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you love talking about polarization and either or.
Yeah.
I feel like you
it's-
could
It's,
Yeah.
you know, I should just make that
Yeah.
disclaimer before anyone
Yeah,
wants
let's just-
to think anything.
disclaimer. Yes.
Okay, continue.
It's not that we love the dualisms, it's that we just find it so interesting to talk about.
And we feel so passionately.
Oh, and if you haven't, and if you couldn't tell already, we are a little bit passionate about this.
I thought you were going to say intoxicated.
No. I did finish off my second drink, but
I'm intoxicated.
I don't want to pause to. Are you pausing to?
No, I was just going to go over here like I've been doing, but we can if you want. If you
Okay,
want to go
okay.
get another drink, you can. That is A-okay.
Are we gonna be able to keep the flow state?
I think babe, we keep getting back into it real easy. It's not like we've
No,
struggled
yeah,
over the
yeah.
past 3 hours.
Dude, this is gonna. I am so sorry to your viewers and your listeners because this is gonna be a 3-hour session that you cannot cut any of. So, like, we're an hour into the actual podcast. You can't cut any of this because this is all relevant.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, you can have more drink if you want more drink.
Okay, I'm gonna make a drink
Okay,
and then I'm gonna
I'm
smack
gonna-
my vape when I get back up here because I don't know if I necessarily want that on the internet.
That's fair. I'm gonna take off my headphones so they stop squeezing my head for a second. Walk gentler, please.
Okay, I'm back.
See it's back.
I'm at the end of my last ginger ale. I'm so sad.
That is
I've
so sad.
Personally worked through a whole case of ginger ale. And when I say a whole case, I don't mean like a 24-pack. I mean like a Costco-sized pack of ginger ale.
like a lot of ginger.
Like a lot of ginger ale.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Wait, I would like to add about and you can cut this out. It doesn't have to be relevant.
Okay.
About the eating disorder thing is that
Okay.
I recently, a couple weeks ago, saw a post, and it was a picture of an ad from, I don't know what decade it was, sometime in the 1900s. I want to say like 1950s, 60s, maybe around that time, where it was literally an ad for an egg for a tapeworm. Yeah. Actually, let me see if I can look it up.
Do you know the white wine and steak diet, or you like drink a bottle of white wine and eat like a 4-ounce steak?
Yes,
That's your meal
yes.
for the day.
I think
I
it
think
was.
that's all your
I think
food
it
for
was
the day.
like it was like a cosmopolitan ad for staying skinny, and it was like a glass of wine at each meal, and like for lunch you get to have a hard-boiled egg.
Absurd. The fact that they're real really just like gets me sometimes.
Yeah,
And that wasn't that long
it's
ago. Like that's
insane.
what gets me is like that's not even
Yeah,
like
and
that was in America. America was formed.
I think this is something that's also been coming up on my Twitter feed. Yes, I know it's bad that I still use Twitter, but I do unfortunately enjoy Twitter.
I feel
But
like you're
also,
a good Twitterer though.
most of my feed is like political stuff, and I hate to admit that I'm getting like political stuff on Twitter, but at the same time, it's like a lot of the stuff that like isn't in the news, and it's where
Mhm.
I'll get like it's where I get like a lot of ice
Yeah.
posts and
I feel
ice
you.
videos. But there was quite a few of the posts that I've seen recently within the past couple weeks have been like, yeah, and Harriet Tubman died in 1913. Like, and also, I think it is a good conversation to be had to acknowledge and to educate people on like Rosa Parks, on the like the Black Panthers and the people that are like the forefronts of like standing up for racism, like those political activists,
Mm-hmm.
that they went through training. They were taught how to like deal with the racism and the confrontation of white people. Like there was a picture that I saw a few times of a young Black woman who was sitting, and she was essentially training to be like a political activist or a Black Panther. I don't know if it was specifically a Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
but where she was sitting in a chair and she was doing an exercise where she was reading, and one person was pulling on her hair, and another person was blowing cigarette smoke into her face. And she was being taught how to withstand this
Abuse from people.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say abuse. Yeah, it's essentially abuse. And like we don't talk about that. I was never taught that in school, that like Rosa Parks wasn't like a normal person off the streets who just decided, I'm not gonna get up out of my seat today. Like that's how it's taught in schools, and that's simply not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
No, yeah.
anyway.
No, I
fuck
totally
the public
agree.
school system. Like fuck just fuck education and fuck Donald Trump.
No, I think that's a great PSA. If you want to have an education that's like worthwhile, you have to go educate yourself.
Yes.
Do something about that then, because you didn't get one if you went to an American school.
And this is essentially educating yourself. Find the people that are actually educated in the real history of that subject matter.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
And talk to people with, this is a weird I've been going on lately. a little bit
community.
irrelevant here, but college is paying a person to tell you what they know. You're in a class of 14 people that know things from their entire life. If you listen to them, now you don't have one person telling you what they know. You have a whole classroom of people telling you what they know. And you get so many diverse perspectives. And if you listen to the things the people say to the teacher in response to the questions, and you like take them seriously as a peer, and you like, okay, that's an interesting way of thinking about that, you'll learn so much. And if you go out to the street and you find someone who you don't know and you learn from them, you've now learned.
Well, okay, that's also the conversation of lived experience. Lived experience is also education. There are more forms of education than simply paying hundreds of dollars for a class for somebody to tell you the knowledge on that matter, also, I would say, like, you experience the same thing when you're becoming, like, a teenager or an early adult and you, like, suddenly get really interested in either your parents' life or your grandparents' life, and you realize, like, oh my gosh, like, they actually do know a lot. They have actually experienced a lot, and, like, I don't know. That's the same, like,
No,
that's
I
in the
feel
same
you.
realm as me.
And I feel like it's like accepting that like everyone has that. Like no one you
Yes.
meet is just like talking out of their ass about every single thing that they're talking about. Like everyone you meet has
Yeah.
lore and has done things and has lived
Yeah.
life. Like
Yeah.
like you don't have to have like lived a life to like everyone alive right now is living.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hot take.
I am like, there are young teenagers who do know about abuse, who do know about trauma. Like, you don't get to just dismiss people based on your immediate assumptions. But also, there are people that are talking out of their ass on certain
There are and
subjects.
once you hear their argument and are curious and understand where they're coming from, you can disagree with them.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what we're saying.
But that's also learning about where they come from, and they probably do have a lived experience or two that plays into that, into
yeah.
their opinion about a certain subject matter, you know?
Yeah, I think it like tabula rasa is the concept that we come out of the womb and we're born or like while we're conceived. However you want to think about conception. When a human is formed, let me just
Yes.
get ahead of all of the things. When a human is formed in your head, that is when your mind is created and it's completely blank. And this is tabula rasa. This is
Yes.
just a theory.
Yes.
And like the society that it's born into is what imprints on it. So
Yes.
the idea that I forget what we were just talking about.
Lived experiences,
And that
education.
the idea that someone comes out of the womb just sexist or racist or whatever, bigoted in any way, if they were put on a remote island with no one else, do you think they would still be that way?
That is learned. That is learned.
Yes. Which brings us
Period.
to our
That's it.
third thing that a dualism is. I actually don't know if this is going to fit in. I'm going to try and do a little transition here, but I don't think it's going to go well.
I think this is fine.
Relational definitions. So,
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, it cut out for a second.
relational definition.
Relational definition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I think I understand where you're going with this.
yeah. I think you do too. I hope so. The idea that women are defined as being not men. So, what did I write? Okay. This is a quote from Simone de Beauvoir.
I know where you're going with this.
This is a quote
Wait,
from
what'd you say?
This is a quote from Simone de Beauvoir that I'm about to read you. Val Plumwood cites this in Ecofeminism and the Mastering Nature.
Okay.
She says, he is the absolute, she is the other. So
Yes.
I feel like that just describes it the best, which is why I wrote that. I love Simone de Beauvoir. It's an incredible quote. But like that's the TLDR of it, is like there's a man and it's a man's world and we get to live in it. And we are what men aren't.
And this is, again, the subject and the object.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because men are the subject, right? And women are the object.
Yeah, so it's the same idea
White
as...
are the subject. Any other race minority is the object. Again, with straight is the subject. Anything other is the minority. And this, if you've taken a look in society. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just for the listeners. You can continue.
No, you're good. You're good. What was I just... Oh, I think this one's really interesting to look at the human nature dualism with, because the way, like imagine how you feel when you're like 5 years old and you're growing up and you like fall on the concrete and you like don't conceive that there could be grass there instead. And then you start like think of like a parking lot. Like the way that like our entire world has terraformed to the point that like the human city world is the absolute, and nature, which is what William Cronin's trying to get at with the trouble of world, is the other. That we've put ourselves in a position where we think that the natural world or wilderness or a tree is something that is existing outside of our world. And we're literally on a rock together.
And I would relate this to like lawns specifically. that's where
That's where
my
I
thought
wanted to go.
went.
Yes.
That's where my thought went, is that there is this idea in society where they say you need to have a perfectly cut lawn with these plants that they look good, like whatever. There is this idea of what your house, your lawn should look like.
A
Let's think
monoculture
for a second.
lawn.
Yes. But I would also add on to that gardens, where they say gardens specifically should have these plants and they should have mulch around them. You're not allowed to have any weeds. Like, they have to be perfectly trimmed and
Mhm.
they have to be cultured to look a certain way. Let's think for a second. It can simply be different. Your grass actually is allowed to be 6 inches high. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3. It can actually be higher than that. Like, you.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, yeah. But we put ourselves in a position where that's not who we are. Like, that's something else. Like,
And again, this has been taught over so many years. And so we don't think of it as something that could change or something that could be other, right?
Mhm.
It has to be this way. Well, why? We don't know. We don't question it. It just has to be that way.
Which is,
And it doesn't look good any other way.
yeah.
And it's ugly.
Yes.
Oh.
Which goes into from whose perspective we're talking from.
And we could get into the dualisms of beautiful and ugly. Because what is beautiful? Oh, this the like societal, like conventional standard of beauty is white with maybe blue hair and blue eyes. But you have certain facial features, skin tone is different, teeth is different, noses are different, body shape is different. Like just my thought. Anyway, okay.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
You're good. No, you're cooking, babe.
If you can't tell, I'm kind of passionate.
Okay, we have 2 more, and then we're doing really good. Actually, I feel like we're like right on time.
Okay, good. You can cut these 10 seconds.
Okay, so we got relational definition. Okay, a recap. Dualisms have to background, hyper-separate, and relationally define the other. They have to do 2 more things. These ones are kind of like low-key and like we kind of know them. The second one goes back to what we were talking about with the second point that Greta and Lori had, the instrumentalization of the other. So,
Ooh, thoughts.
okay. Instrumentalization is essentially taking the object. So, in the case of slavery, obviously, Black people were objects that we use. We instrumentalized them as a machine. The way that
Yes, as an
humans
instrument.
the way that
Yeah.
humans instrumentalize nature as something that gives us stuff, we make it into things, we use it. It's for ours to take and use.
But we simultaneously do not respect it.
Yes. It's something like it's just means to my ends. Nothing matters but what the subject wants, and it can use the object in any way to get that, and it's never a problem. Like there's no because that's a bad example, but not when I'm using my bong. When I'm using this pen, it doesn't matter to me at all what happens to this pen because I'm just using it to write something down.
Or how
like
it's
this
made.
is irrelevant to me. Yeah. Yes. Or how it's treated.
All that matters is
Okay.
how it works for me while I'm using it.
So obviously that gets a little bit dicey when we like assign people that. We don't like it when people are instruments. That's bad. Or nature. Or animals. We don't want to instrumentalize other things.
Period.
Okay, do you have more for instrumentalization, or should I just go to the last one? And then we can talk about whatever.
Okay, I know that I'm talking about like the 50s housewife a lot.
That's okay.
And I know that this is me as like a white woman talking about this. And so I apologize to any of the people of color because I do understand that is not my first thought. Do you know what I'm trying to say here?
Like this is one example of many that can be used.
Yes, it is, but also this is also something that like I as like a woman, like women in general, like this is something that I face a lot of. I interact most with the idea of like a 50s housewife, a conservative traditional wife. And I understand that there is a lot more, and I apologize that I am not thinking about all the other things. But
That's okay.
Like, essentially,
babe, it's literally just you coming from your perspective. You're good. Like, I promise. Also, no one's watching this.
my perspective should be wider, and I should be thinking about these
No,
things.
because
and I
then
do
you would be
understand,
trying to be
but, like,
objective. You're trying to be objective. Just be subjective.
okay.
Your brain goes to the
I'm
50s
sorry.
housewives. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. What do you want to say about the housewives?
Anyway, okay. Anyway, well, this also goes back into, like, backgrounding a little bit, where it's the instrumentalization of women as somebody or something that can A, bring you children, B, do your cooking, do your cleaning, like,
It's like a smart
women-
house.
smart. Yeah, it is. It's like a smart house, but it's essentially like the idea that women will do the work for the men. That's pretty much it. That's kind of all I was saying. You guys know how I feel about that. You know where I'm going with that. But anyway,
No, you're good.
I just wanted to add another example to that. I simply did not have to, but
No, it's good. I enjoy the
Okay.
examples. You're doing good. Our last
you.
thing that constitutes a dualism is gonna be stereotyping. So this is better known as homogenization. Not better known. This is also known as homogenization, but I wanted to put the word stereotyping in here because that's like the TLDR of what it is, and I felt like most people
It's
would
easier
understand that
understood.
better.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
when we think about homogenization, we're thinking about making things the same. So homo, hetero, different, same, homogenize. It's all the same.
Man, wife.
Yes, man, wife.
Back to the 50s housewife.
Yes. But it's like anything that this also goes into radical exclusion. It kind of like helps radical exclusion.
Ooh,
And-
yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I call it hyper separation here. Hyper separation and radical exclusion are the same thing. Let me just put that out there. But homogenization really helps you be able to separate things so differently, because if all men do this and all women do this and men don't do the woman things and women don't do the men things, then it's really easy to go, yeah, all women do that. And then
Yeah.
we end up with a stereotype. But this also
And
obviously
therefore
goes
women
for white, indigenous,
Yes.
whatever dualism we're looking at.
therefore minorities should not cross over into the majorities, and
Mhm.
therefore minorities should not cross over into majorities. That's the word
Space.
I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Space.
Yeah.
Essentially spaces.
Like
Characteristics.
it's looked down upon
know.
for us to try and do things different.
Yeah.
Because it's separated from what you're supposed to be doing as that category.
Idea? Thought? Question mark? This is why butches and mask women. I don't want to say dyke, even though I did just say I don't want to say that because I there's a whole discourse on who should say what, right? And so dyke has been used as a slur, right? But my thought into going into this space, whatever this thought space, is that this is why mask women, butch women are hated more as lesbians as opposed to a feminine lesbian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're crossing into a space that is quote unquote not theirs, right?
Yeah, they're being the guy for the girl and like treating her all nice, and they're being masculine in a way that's not being a man.
Yes.
And that's
But
where the
also,
issue
like,
occurs.
But also within the queer community, it's like, or even like straights looking into the queer community, it's like, well, if you mask and if you butch, you should be paying for all the dinners. You should be doing all the chivalrous things. You should be taking the power. You should be the power. But there's also a thing of like, well, a mask can be a bottom. They can emotionally like be a bottom. There's also a whole conversation to be had on top and bottom. But there's the terms power bottom, and there's like being emotionally a bottom but being a mask. Like this
If we don't, it's giving assumptions to things that we don't have to give assumptions
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, if you're taking on the qualities of a quote-unquote man, then you should be doing all of these things, even if you are a woman. If you're being masculine, then you should be doing all of these things, right? But then you can also, then there's the and. Then there's the and.
Yeah.
You don't have to be or. You can be and.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want.
Okay, if you want to learn more about this topic, listen to the podcast We're Having Gay Sex by Ashley Gavin, with Ashley Gavin, I would say. Anyway, that's where they talk a lot about gender and sexuality. It's obviously called We're Having Gay Sex. So anyway, if you're interested in that specific conversation, listen to that podcast. Just wanted to give a quick little shout out. What'd you say?
That sounds good, not gonna lie.
Dude, it's so good. She's a comedian. And so there's like a lot of comedy, but they also have like really deep, like vulnerable conversations. It's like,
that's a good vibe. I'm interested.
Yes. It's so good. I recently subscribed to their Patreon, so I'm officially a patron.
Is that your first Patreon?
Yes, it is. And so therefore I am better than everybody else because I'm contributing to queer media. Yeah. I've been wanting to make that joke. No, so it's not going to Twitter, it's going to you guys. You're welcome.
Did
you start recording again?
Yes. Thanks for joining us, babes. We had a great time. I hope that you guys tune back in again for another fun episode soon, and I hope that I record one to give to you.
And also, if you want me back, please let Kaylee know. Don't let me know. Let Kaylee know, because she has all the feedback.
Leave it down in the comments.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Absolutely. I need to keep.
No, seriously,
I keep
please.
forgetting to say that.
Well, like I don't really know if it makes a difference.
No, it does.
Please, as somebody who has 2 subscribers, please like, comment, and subscribe. Because then we'll get 100% interaction rate.
You're correct.
But let Kaylee know if you want me back, because I enjoyed this,
I'm
thinking about rejoining.
I want you.
We won't make any assumptions after an ecofeminism podcast episode. We won't make any assumptions.
I think it's reasonable to assume that they'll want you back.
Okay.
So bye, babes. Thank you. Okay, that stopped. Okay, now tell me what happened.